What's happening, YouTube? Came back with another how-to video coming to you straight from quarantine, and today we're installing a reverse camera for the Miata. It's a super simple install. All we really gotta do is mount it to a license plate, hook it up on the stereo, and we gotta tuck all the wiring in, and then we gotta set it up. Let's get straight into it. Alright, this is what came with the package. Alright, let's start with the first bag that it came in. Alright, looks like we got some tapping wires. I don't really know how to use these, so I'm not. We got some wiring that looks like needs to be connected. Came with some zip ties. A really nice plastic tool to take off push clips and interior panels. We're going to be using this. And this is some mounting hardware in case you didn't want to put on the license plate, but we're going to be putting on the license plate. Okay, let's get into the wiring. Already looks good because it looks like a lot of wire. And my car is small, so I don't need that much wire, but it's good to see that they came with a lot of wire. This is the camera assembly itself. Has a bunch of LEDs. This one's to hook up to a license plate. And we have some wires sticking out that we're going to need to determine which ones we're going to cut. We'll get into that right now. And obviously the female ports. You're also going to need some harness that your stereo came with. This is what the Alpine stereo system came with. You can see we have front view camera, rear view camera. I think this is a sub. We got another front out. And I'm guessing both of these are for the sub, right? Rear out, yeah. We're definitely going to be using this. First thing we determine is which wires are going to need to be cut. Okay, the diagram comes with pictures. This is the Amazon gallery for the product. And it's more useful than the instructions because the instructions doesn't really have pictures. Although the instructions say that there's a green, white, and brown wire. But right here, there's only a green and white wire. They said cut the white wire if you don't want the mirror, and then cut the green wire if you don't want the guides. I do want the mirror and I do want the guides, so I'm not going to cut anything right now. If I decide I don't like something, I'll go back in and I'll cut it, but I'm going to leave everything the way it is. Okay, so I set up the wire so you guys can see it. This is the reverse camera, obviously goes in the back of the car. We're going to follow that wire. Then it leads to this, which we didn't cut any of those wires. Then it leads to this one. Let's start with the red. So this wire has a red and black wire. The black wire is going to tap into the ground wire, and the red wire is going to tap into your reverse light wiring. If you watched my reverse light video, you already saw those wiring. I'm going to show you when we get into the car exactly which ones to hook it up to. We're going to be using the T-taps, by the way. If you watched my halo light video, you saw the T-taps I used. I got them off Amazon. Links will be in the description for all of this, obviously. But that's how I'm going to wire it up. Onto the yellow. In the instructions, they say the red wire is for the reverse trigger wire. I know exactly which wire they're talking about. I just don't understand why they put one in the back right here. I guess maybe to have the option of wiring in the back and one wiring to the front. But that's fine. We'll figure it out. By the way, this wire is actually super long. I'm probably only going to use, for my Miata, probably only use less than half of it. And the rest is going to get tucked away. And the yellow wire gets plugged into the harness that your monitor or stereo provides. Actually, most stereo will just plug straight into it. They actually don't have a whole harness. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop the top, lower down the windows. I'm going to open up the trunk. I'm going to take the license plate off. I'm also going to remove the center console and remove the tombstone. I have a detailed video on that. It'll be at one of these corners. And it'll also be in the link description next to featured videos. I'm also gonna pull the stereo system, and then we'll pick up the camera after that. Okay, I'm gonna take off this grommet because I'm looking at this right here, and I think I can funnel the wire into right there. And so I'm just gonna do this preemptively because I just want to already get a map of how I'm gonna do it. It's being held on by push pins. One right there, one right there. Other side, there. Go back to the top. There should be one right there. Should be one right there too, and one right down the middle. Let's take that off. Alright, so if you can see, there's a hole back there, and I think that lines up directly with back there. So I'm gonna go take off these bolts and see what's behind back there, because I can't reach anything back there. Okay, if you guys can see that, there's a little push clip. It's really hard to show you guys, especially like holding my phone light and trying to show y'all this. But there's a little push clip, one of those that you get in those pliers and you squeeze them and push out. So I'm gonna do that right there in that hole, and hopefully that is gonna punch this out right here. I managed to get it off. This was it right here. I actually just broke off the back That's the top piece right there that was connected in the back. All you gotta do is squeeze it with the needle nose pliers. I wasn't able to find a size that fit right there, so I just snapped it off. Yo, after I broke off the back, it slid right out. Now you can see that hole leads right through. So that works out perfectly. The reverse camera is gonna bolt up to right here where the license plate holes went, and the wires is gonna go through that hole, out to right here. My plan is to make it come straight down underneath the carpet and all the way inside to the cabin of the car. But let's continue with the uninstalling of the tombstone. All right, we're gonna connect our harness that came with the stereo system. Boom, there you go. Call me an electrician. All right, y'all, listen up because I'm about to explain the wiring. The first wire we're gonna do is this one. Now, I already told you that the black was ground and the red needs to be plugged into the reverse light. Now you asking yourself, Candy, how the fuck do I know which one the reverse light is? You looking at them, you're like, what do that mean? You're looking on Google, you're like, dude, I can't find the diagram. I got you, let me explain it. Alright, so all you're gonna do is open up the assembly. If you haven't watched my reverse light installation video, you're a fake homie. Here we go. You see it's a red and yellow wire. You look over here, Candy, there ain't no red and yellow wire. You probably already thinking, GG, I'm gonna return it back to Amazon. Hold up, we follow the red and yellow wire. Boom, goes in there. Alright, you can look right there. Where is that red and yellow wire going to? There's 3 columns and 2 rows. So I can see that it's going the top row, middle column. Flip that bitch over. Now right there is our wire. And right there is our wire. You can see it's the bottom one. It's red and green. Now we come back right here and we have our red and green wire. So that's where this red cable is plugged into right there. And the black obviously plugs into any of the black ones, which are going to be ground. I'm going to be using T-taps to connect the wires. That's the red and green wire. Put it like that. Get you with that black wire. Red to red, black to black. Alright, you came to a little bit dilemma and you got 2 pathways to go now. Check this out. This hole right here that I said we were gonna feed it through is too small. We're not gonna be able to shove both these through. Now you got 2 options. One, you can get a big ass drill and drill a hole through the plastic and about 3 different layers of metal to get through. You can do that, or you can cut the reverse light, slide it through, and reattach each of the wires. They're all color coded, so you're gonna know which one's which. Okay, I chose to drill it out. This is a 1/2 inch bit. To be honest with you, I don't think it's a 1/2 inch bit because I have a 1/2 inch bit and this is way bigger. And I cut this out like my grandpa's World War II toolbox. So we're gonna try it. I have it on my impact for honest curiosity because I have a drill, but I just wanna see what's gonna happen. Well, take 2. Boss, don't let me down. Alright. Not too bad. Should have started with this one first. Alright, this is another old tool from my grandpa's toolbox. This is a file. We're going to go ahead and file down those rough edges just so the cord doesn't have any chance of scraping or tearing or causing some kind of short. Alright, I'm trying to push these wires through and I'm quickly finding out that 1/2 inch is actually a little too small. It's actually just the perfect size. If you put the yellow one first and you shove the red one as hard as you can through, then it will fit. You're about to see me struggle with the red one right here. Maybe if I wiggle it, come on. Just gotta get past those grooves. A little bit more filing would have been good. There you go. All right, just snap back that broken piece like new. It's gonna go on just like that. Alright, new plan. We're gonna mount it to the tail light panel. I switched it into the mount. I actually put it on this position. That way I can get a higher standpoint. Hopefully the bolts are gonna sit right above where the license plate should be. I'm gonna test fit it right now. And then the wire should just hang down just a little bit and go straight in that hole. I'm gonna clean it up before I do that. Alright, real quick, I'm editing the reverse camera video right now. But real quick, I wanna talk about how to take the license plate bracket off and switch the camera to the mounting bracket. So first, you're gonna turn it over and you're gonna see 4 little screws on the back of the license plate bracket. Unscrew those, and you're gonna be left with something that looks like that. You're gonna wanna remove those 2 screws, and you're gonna be left with something like that. And with those 2 screws that you just removed off the bracket, you're going to reuse those to put on the mounting bracket, just as you see in this picture. After you tighten everything up, it should look just like that. Something I messed up on is I actually put the camera upside down. I didn't even think that there would be an actual orientation to it. Right now on the screen, you should see where it is up and down. Those 2 screws at the highest point, that's where you should have it. It should be up right there. I'll show y'all the clip of when I first turned it on. This shit's upside down, bro.
Is it really?
Yeah. Fuck, so you just can't change the orientation like that. It has to be a certain orientation. Fuck. It's good, bro. The next thing I want to talk about is the fabrication I did. So the mounting bracket, I completely fabricated that on my own. All I did, I used some sheets, which are metal cutting scissors. I hope I said that right. And I made the mounting bracket more of a rectangle shape. That way it fit right above the license plate. Next thing I did was try to angle the arms that hold the camera to extend as far as possible. And I did that by using my rotary tool, making slits and then bending it. And I actually used my soldering iron and a little bit of solder to reinforce it and do a pretty cool welding job. I'll let y'all see the clip of that. Oh my God, quit playing with me, boy. Look at that. Quit playing with me. Hey, I ain't never welded in my life. I think I soldered like 2 wires in my whole life, bro. Come on. I love doing custom work, and I don't mind putting more time to getting it exactly the way I want it to look. And it really came out perfect, so I don't mind. But I just want to say that there's absolutely no fabrication needed. If I can give you some advice, the day before you're gonna install your reverse camera, spend the day mocking it up. As you saw, one of the first things I did was put the camera onto the license plate just so I can kind of mock it up and see exactly how I'm gonna be able to do it. It would have been super simple if I would have ran the wire through the license plate light, but what I was trying to do, I just wanted you to be able to just see just the camera itself, no wiring. I didn't really want you to even see the bracket it was holding it. I really wanted a real sleek look, and I think I accomplished that. Alright, let's get back into the video. Alright, I'm gonna do a little pre-drill exactly where the bolts are. Just leave a little nick for me. But as of right now, it's pretty good, it's solid, and it's gonna stay there. Again, I'm leaving it loose so we can adjust it later. Okay, this wire is for the reverse trigger wire. We have that inside the cabin, so just go ahead and electrical tape this up. And then we're gonna plug in our yellow, also electrical tape on the reverse trigger wire. Also gonna grab one of the zip ties, wrap around all the wires. For the yellow wiring, I'm gonna route it underneath the carpet and go into the cabin through where the spare tire is. All right, we're gonna take all this stuff out. We're gonna clear the trunk, take out the spare tire, and this is gonna get routed through. All right, we're actually gonna we're gonna follow this antenna down here because I know that leads directly underneath the center console. So this is the wire we're gonna follow. But first, let's tuck it into the carpet. And we can do that by just simply lifting up a little bit, just tucking it on in there. These are buttons for the battery. There you go. Right there. Okay, according to the reverse light instructions, it says that this red wire is the reverse trigger. Now if you go to your stereo or whatever kind of monitor you have, go to where you can see right there, it says reverse, orange, and white. So we go over here on the wires I tucked away. We have our orange and white wire right here. Okay, we're gonna tap into the orange and red wire. This red wire is gonna run. It's not long enough to reach to the reverse light, so I have an extra red cable, and we're gonna butt connect those, and then we're gonna tap into the reverse light. All right, so I got the wires all tightened up, zip tied them, bunch of electrical tape just to keep it go. Really try to utilize the OEM, what they use to tuck their wires. So like this, I took off the electrical tape and I put my own electrical tape around that. That needs to get buttoned up. And I threw the wires, routed them through there. And right here, as you see, I twined them up. Still utilizing the OEM hideaways for the wires. Went underneath. Comes, put electrical tape around this harness right here. Coming through, utilizing. For the red wire, I went through and connected it. Again, red and green. That's gonna happen a switch back like we on Spotify. Something that's gonna switch directly to the camera. And there you go. Alright, we're gonna get everything buttoned up. Let's do it. Alright, finally got this mounted. Look, it LEDs turn on real nice. I don't know if you guys can see it, it's kind of dark. As you guys saw, each of the sides are welded or soldered, whatever you want to call it. Everything was completely fabricated. This bracket was fabricated, and even the back in the back was fabricated. Real quick, just to do a quick review. I'm not gonna sit here and say that the product was no good. I don't want to say this, that, and the third about the product because I had to do so much fabrication. It's DIY. When I bought it, it was cheap. I knew how much I was buying it for. I knew, you know, it says universal because it could be connected to any bracket. Bottom line is I knew there was gonna be fabrication. So guys, anytime there's a universal product or a product that needs to be fabricated, any kind of DIY project, don't be discouraged, you know. All they're really gonna take is just some creativity, you know what I'm saying? It can be done, you know. Let's get straight into the programming of it. We got it to work automatically when it switches in, so I'll show you that right now. So that's the radio, but immediately when I put it into reverse, boom, we get the camera. So that's exactly how we want it, so that's good. Make sure you just got that reverse trigger wire lined up. That trigger wire is supposed to get connected into your reverse light, and then you're supposed to tap into it with the trigger wire that the reverse light provides. Okay, so right here we can see the guidelines. It's really hot and really bright, so I'm sorry you guys are seeing this glare, but we're gonna now adjust the guidelines. Since we got a Miata and it's super small and I can drop the top, I can see from right here. I can see from right here, if you can kind of see me waving. But this way we can adjust the light up and down so you can see me right there. And I'm doing that by just pushing up or down. And then after that, after you finally got it where you want it, go ahead and tighten those screws in the back where it's holding the bracket. Alright, I adjusted it off camera because you really couldn't see it, and I also threw the top back up just so we wouldn't get that glare. Alright, so you can see these are the guidelines that come with the camera. You can see that yellow bar, that's my bumper. Personally, for me, I want to be able to see my bumper, so I have it right there where the red is, so I know red, I'm touching the bumper now. So these guidelines are pretty cool. I'm just going to show you guys the guidelines that come with the car. We go right here to settings. We got to pull the e-brake to access the settings. Okay, the guidelines, we're going to turn them on, adjust them. So those are the guidelines that it comes with. You can adjust them right here how you want them. Personally, I don't really like the cones, so I'm gonna leave those off. Picture quality, you're actually allowed to adjust the brightness, color, and the contrast. I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. And then primary, so if I had a front camera or if I had the side, right, and left, and other cameras you can have in the car, but I don't need any of that right now. So the only thing that really sucks about this camera is that when you attach the trigger wire, you are not allowed to able to access it from just using the camera. So as you see, I'm in the menu now. When I click camera, it's not on, because the only way that camera is going to get power is when I throw it in reverse. Before, when I had that trigger wire not plugged in correctly, you saw that I was able to access it through the menu, but now I'm not able to. It's not a problem. I really like it. In case you guys were wondering, none of the wires connected to the steering wheel, so when I turn, the guidelines don't turn with me. As you see in the newer cars, it actually shows you the guidelines as you're turning. Also, connecting the trigger wire, you cannot adjust the guidelines anymore. I have to disconnect the trigger wire in order to adjust these. Yeah guys, I'm sweating. I'm really happy with it. As you can see, the quality is really good, and the Alpine stereo, I can adjust the picture quality, so that's even better. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. Next weekend we're deleting the AC. I'm super excited, so I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.